Anime recap. A girl accidentally opens a mysterious door that lets destruction enter the world. Suzume's a second-year high school has a weird dream where she sees a scene from her childhood. She's in a snow-filled area with no one else around. She sees herself as a small child and starts calling for her mother. After not finding her mother, she starts crying and falls to the ground. Suddenly, she hears someone is approaching her but happy to see that it's none other than her mother. Before she can see her face, she wakes up in her bedroom. Suzume was living with her auntie Tamaki, who took care of her after her mother's death. One day, Tamaki had some work to do and will arrive home, so she asked Suzume to take care of herself for the time being. After that, Suzume took her bike and heads to the school. On the way, she came across a young handsome boy who was walking on the left side of the road. She stares at him because she finds him beautiful and good-looking, but feels that she's seen him before. They pass each other and the boy stops her, asking her that if there's any ruins in the nearby area as he's been looking for a door. Suzume points him to the mountain area and the boy thanks her for the direction and walks away. On the way, Suzume came across her school friend who asked her to hurry as they are already late, but for some reason she stops and heads back towards the young boy. She goes to the area she directed him to, and starts searching for him. She called him so many times but the young handsome boy did not reply. Suddenly, in the ruins of the old community, she enters what's left of an old onsen. There is water pooled on the ground and she sees a door and doorframe in the middle of the onsen ruins. While looking at the door, Suzume realized that the boy must be talking about this door as it looks completely out of this place. She walks toward it and accidentally opens it. After opening the door and onto the other side, she sees a celestial star-filled night sky and a grassy hill. She walks through it but she ends up on the other side of the door frame in the onsen. Shocked at this, Suzume realized that she can see the other side of the door, but can't walk into that world. Suddenly, she nearly trips over a weird stone statue and wonders what it is. She picks it up, and it looks like an ancient statue of a cat. Suddenly, the statue turns into a drenched white cat, and she startledly let her go, and the cat runs away. Horrified at this, she runs away and goes back to her school, leaving the door open. At school, her friends tease her for being late in the class and asked her to share her lunch with them. Suddenly, she looks out the classroom window and sees smoke in the mountains. She points it out to her friends, saying that there might be a fire out there. Her friends look out the windows and finds nothing, saying they don't see anything. Suddenly, all the students' cell phones blare a siren, warning of an earthquake, and the earthquake arrived with the magnitude of 4. While the earthquake was not very strong, so it immediately passes by. Meanwhile, Suzume looks out the window again and sees the smoke has turned into a large pillar of smoke, taking the shape of a large tube. She stares at it in horror and asks her friends about it, but her friends say they still don't see anything. Wondering that why she is only one to see this red smoke, she took her bike and hurries back to the abandoned area, since the smoke was getting larger and larger in the sky. By the time she gets to the ruins, she sees that the red-black smoke is coming out of the door she had left open, and the young handsome boy she passed by that morning is trying his best to close it. While trying to close out the door, the boy asked her to leave the area but the force of the red-black smoke is so strong that he's thrown onto his back. Suzume goes to help him up and he tells her to run away, as it's too dangerous. Suddenly, a sparkling light emerged from the door and the red-black smoke, who formed the shape of a tentacles, falls to the city, causing a high-magnitude earthquake. Due to earthquake, a small part of the ruins falls towards the Suzume but the boy saved her by injuring himself. After that, the boy runs to the door and tries to close it again. Suzume, horrified at this, instead of running away, she runs towards the door and tries to close it along with the boy. The boy starts chanting some phrases, causing a blue and light energy to appear around him. The blue and light transforms into a key lock on the door, and the key he wears around his neck starts to glow. Finally, the boy shoves his key into the lock and turns it. The smoke disappears and things are normal again. The boy then asks Suzume about the keystone and red worm, and how did she manage to see it, but she didn't have any idea and asked what he is talking about. Realizing that it was just a coincidence, the boy thanks her for helping him out and decides to walk away. Suddenly, Suzume stopped him from going and takes him to her home to treat his hand. On the way, they hear news about massive earthquake and see destroyed buildings, realizing that it was due to the red worm. She then takes him to her room and asks him to stay in it while she gets some bandages for him. At her room, the boy came across a child chair who has 3 legs and immediately decides to sit on it. Suzume then bandages him up and asks him about the earlier incident, in which the boy informed her that the red worm is a giant force that dwells beneath the Japanese islands, and in order to stop it, they will need to find a keystone, otherwise it will appear again. They formally introduce themselves with the boy revealing his name, Suzume. He explains that he is a closer and his job is to travel to Japan and find those worms and lock them inside the door. He further explains that it's a job that's been passed down in his family, so he has no choice but to do it. Suddenly, a cute white cat appears at Suzume's window. Realizing that she must be hungry, Suzume brings it food and water, asks it to become her pet. Suddenly, the cat speaks and tells Suzume that she is kind and it loves her. The cat looks at Suda and says he's in their way. The cat uses her powers and turns Suda into Suzume's childhood baby chair. Despite turning into a chair, Suda can still talk as normal and move the chair's legs as if they were his own. The cat runs away and Suda chases it, asking her to turn him back to human. Suzume also went after the both of them all the way onto a boat that is headed for Aheim. During the chase, people see a chair moving on its own chasing a runaway cat, and the images blow up on social media. On the boat, both of them corners the cat, but the cat jumps on the passing small boat, saying that she will see them again. Since they can't chase him anymore, they decide to get something to eat on the boat. Suzume's auntie asks where she is and Suzume lies, saying she's staying at a friend's house for the night, and not to worry. Her auntie is angry and tells her to come home as soon as possible. On the boat, Suzume brought some bread and asks Suda to eat it, but Suda declines it, saying that chair don't eat. When asked why it turned into a chair, Suda revealed that the cat must be a keystone since Suzume removed it from its original place, and she used her cursed powers and turned him into a chair. Thinking that it was her fault, Suzume decides to help him out and find the keystone before the red worm can cause more damage. In the morning, Suzume and Suda heads back to the city and starts looking for the cat. Suddenly, she looks at her phone and sees that photos of the cat have blown up on social media, and people have named her as Daijin. Not only this, Suda also became famous, with people calling him a talking and a walking chair on social media while sharing his pictures. Suda tells Suzume to get on the next ferry and heads back home, and that he can handle the rest on his own. Suzume declines and says that people will get suspicious and will cause trouble if they a walking chair moving around in public. He reluctantly agrees and accepts Suzume's help. And this brings the anime to an end. Comment for part 2. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss out on another anime recap video. Until next time, take care.